Norm Macdonald and Chris Kattan have quite the history together at Saturday Night Live, and I'm not talking about some type of gay sexual escapades. I mean that for a period of time these two stars clashed heads and did not get along, and it made for an incredibly entertaining story that was circulated by comedy fans. But was it a real feud, or was it merely for our entertainment? In today's video we will be finding out what happened between Norm and Chris on Saturday Night Live, why they might not have liked each other for a period of time, and whether or not they ever buried the battle axe. So if that sounds interesting to you, then let's hop right into it. To begin with, these two alleged doghouse owners were on Saturday Night Live in the 90s. Norm was a cast member for 5 seasons from 1993 all the way up until 1998, while Chris Kattan was a cast member for 7 seasons from 1996 all the way up until 2003. This brought them in close proximity to one another for the 22nd and 23rd season of Saturday Night Live. Now I imagine with the stress and pressure that comes along with working on a show as massive and prestigious as Saturday Night Live, that sometimes you might see the worst in people, whether it be through a drug addiction or impulsive behavior. But according to Chris Kattan in the beginning, Norm did treat him respectfully. Then as time went on, Norm and Chris would start to get on each other's nerves a little bit. And Norm, being who he is, would eventually air his thoughts on who he believes Chris lies down in bed with.
Quick Norm story. Great quick Norm story.
Get Artie.
Well, Jim will appreciate that. They do a big Rolling Stone article about the Kansas City.
Ah, that was a great one, man.
They do a big Rolling Stone article about the cast.
I got
about
a good
the
one.
What? So the cast of Saturday Night Live.
Right, yeah.
And it's everybody kissing each other's ass. So they ask Norm about Chris Kattan. And it's after pages of, I've never seen someone do better character work. Norm's quote is, he seems gay to me. He goes, I've never met a guy who said he wasn't gay. He seems so gay. But I guess he says he's not gay, so whatever.
Hey.
I love that.
Now obviously this didn't seem like a huge deal at the time. If you're a subscriber of this channel, you're probably a pretty big Norm Macdonald fan, and him calling people gay to tease them was a pretty common occurrence. If anything, it's probably a sign that he's fond of you as a person. So at first, this doesn't seem like anything more than some banter between two star-crossed lovers, but then when Chris Kattan is asked about it on the Howard Stern show, we get some more details about the interactions between Chris and Norm.
What about Norm Macdonald? You're at war with him as well. You two don't like each other.
Warring with Norm?
Here's what Norm said.
Oh, good.
I got it for you.
Another one.
Chris and Norm Macdonald apparently hate each other. This is according to my notes. When Norm hosted Saturday Night Live, Chris did not appear on the show. I don't find him funny. What can I say? Never made me laugh. What happened between... First of all, I don't believe you're gay, are you? I know someone you dated.
No, I'm not gay.
Yeah, you did.
And he's certainly had to have laughed at you once or twice.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
a funny guy.
Right.
Well, that was the.
I mean, your
Rolling
characters.
Stone
Some of your
article.
characters are effeminate, so maybe people think you're
Right,
gay.
like Mango's, like
he's gay,
queer as day.
Right. So
and yeah.
So is Norm a homophobe? Is that the problem? He doesn't like gay characters?
I definitely think he has a problem with
But give me the history of this. I love feuds.
Well, let's see. When I first got on the show, he was so nice. He and Spade,
right,
were just like so nice, and then I don't know what happened. He just started. Like Garth Brooks was, we did like a pitch meeting, and he started saying things in the pitch meeting like, you don't want to do like Garth Brooks was a guest.
Yeah.
Was a guest. I was like, I'm sure you don't want to do another sketch. Right. Like things like that. People would laugh.
Oh, dear.
I was like, why is he saying why is it? And then it got kind of old. Like, Jesus, Norm, you're like another.
And it makes you inhibited in a writing meeting if someone's goofing on you every time you open up your mouth, right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't care because I'm not gay. If I was like, some gay guy going, I don't want anyone to know that I'm this
right. And so the gay jokes kept going and going and going.
Yeah, the gay jokes kept going and going.
And then you finally said, hey, I've had it with you, Norm.
Well,
did you ever confront him?
A little bit, yeah. But it's like a playful thing. He says it's like a Jack Benny, Fred Allen kind of a feud thing.
But you don't see it that way.
No, I think he's, I don't know.
According to Chris, in the beginning everything was fine between them, but as they worked together more and more, they started to dick around and make fun of each other more. Norm even detailed that he didn't actually hate Chris or even dislike him, but that they had this little faux feud between them, similar to Jack Benny and Fred Allen, who were popular comedians who performatively clashed in 1936 on Fred Allen's radio show titled Town Hall Tonight. The feud did have a lot of funny moments though, like the story Chris Kattan tells about the time they sat next to each other on a plane.
We were on a flight together. We didn't plan on being together on the same flight. We were flying from LA back to New York to do Saturday Night Live, and it was a red eye. And he's behind me, and we're, getting along, whatever. He's talking about crapping on women, or I don't know what he was talking about. Something like that.
Yeah,
and it was funny because he was so loud,
right?
So everyone else could hear it. I'm like, just crap on this girl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, laughing.
Right.
Because he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
And then I wake up, and, because it's a red eye, and one of my shoes is missing. And I was like, where's my shoe? And Norm's like, you lost your shoe, huh? And then he leaves. And I'm like, so disoriented. And I'm the last guy in the flight looking for my shoe. And I just, walk off the plane with one shoe. And all the stewardess is like, you are funny.
Oh, no. So he stole your shoe.
He stole my shoe.
And he's playing goofs on you. He's not respecting you.
Right. And then I took his jacket on a really cold night.
Yes.
And his assistant called me at home going, I got to get Norm's jacket. Please get me Norm's jacket. When she was like freaking out.
Right.
In addition to this goofy story, Will Ferrell actually told the ending to this story on Fly on the Wall with Dana Carvey and David Spade.
He's like, come on, give me back my shoes. I know you took them. I know. Norm's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Kattan has to walk through JFK.
With no shoes?
With no shoes, just in his socks. An entire season goes by. And then Kattan and Norm are jousting back and forth about something.
They used to joust a little bit.
And then Norm finally goes, oh yeah, and one other thing, I did take your shoes.
So this story is all well and good, but eventually on the Howard Stern show, Chris starts talking about how Norm wanted to be on the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine, but Artie Lange called in to mention how this narrative is untrue. Now, if Norm and Chris were on good terms, why would he feel the need to lie about this? The conversation that led to Artie calling in was when the previous caller mentioned how Jim Breuer had an issue with Chris while they worked on Saturday Night Live over accusations of a stolen idea.
Chris,
thank you.
Is it not true that Jim Breuer, your former cast member, had a problem with you as well?
I think at one point he thought I stole an idea from him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, man, there's so much infighting. You got to admit.
But they're really, that's it though.
Really?
That's not much for like 6 years.
With a lot of the cast members, and I think with Chris, do you remember that Rolling Stone cover came out and they only put certain members of SNL on the cover?
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Didn't that cause a lot of strife inside?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Norm wanted to be. There's a big stink because he wanted to be on the cover
by himself.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I don't know if he wanted. No, he wanted to be
in that picture.
I don't know. He showed up later, and then he wanted to be. He wanted to stand in the middle of us.
And you said no.
Well, it was just like weird.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Why are you
like who are you?
Here is like my variety show.
Yeah, hey Artie.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, I like Chris. I think he's funny, but what he said before about that Rolling Stone cover is wrong.
All right, go. Artie's going to defend Norm, I guess.
Norm represents.
You might be wrong.
All right, go ahead.
No, it's just that Chris made it sound like Norm showed up begging to get on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Oh no, he wasn't begging. He was just like assuming he was on the cover with us. And
well, he was though.
I know he was.
But he wanted to stand in the middle as well.
No. They were begging Norm to do it, and he thought it seemed weird.
He didn't want to do it.
Right. He thought it seemed weird to stand in the middle of all you guys.
Oh, that's true.
They definitely wanted Norm to be on the cover because at the time, I mean, he was the funniest guy on the show. Howard, you've said that a million times.
Right.
I think Norm is hysterical.
He is. I already said that.
Yeah, and so does Chris.
As much as I love Chris Kattan and Night at the Roxbury, it seems like Artie did catch him stretching the truth here. So this was the inception of the little feud between Norm and Chris Kattan, but then the next time we heard about their feud was when Jim Breuer told the infamous story about the Twilight Zone sketch. He tells the story in this clip of him doing stand-up, but I prefer him telling the story on the Howard Stern show.
Pamela Anderson is on it. Every time a hot chick would come on, Kattan would go over the top to like, oh my God, he'd write a sketch, we're going to make out. And Norm is the guy who's got to go, imagine if you will. And Norm doesn't read sketches, and he's a pro. Right. So he would rehearse it and go, hey, imagine if you will, and second time, and Kattan would go, oh my God, you don't even sound like him. Why would you do that? Now we go to air, and Norm still hasn't said nothing. Every time Kattan would say something to him, I'd look at Norm like, hey, man, you're my hero. What's up? Because if you're not going to say something, I will. Right. And sure enough, he'd give me like a wink. I swear to you, he'd give me a wink. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Live air comes on, and I'm like, 20 seconds to the Twilight Zone sketch. He starts up again. Where Mike, the whole audience is listening, like, oh my God, Kattan. Norm, you better sell it. Oh, God, Pamela, you're so hot. Norm, you gonna... Pam, I can't wait if you ever get rid of... 10 seconds! Norm turns to Kattan. Right before his head, he goes, hey, Pamela, did Chris tell you he's gay yet? And he's got all this rage because he likes being gay. Everyone, why don't you just say you're gay and you wouldn't have all this anger and be a pester? 5 seconds! And you wouldn't have all this rage and try to interrupt everyone's sketch because you suck this week. And we're on! Imagine if you will. Like, there's my hero. There's my hero.
See, he knew to save it for the live air.
Saved it.
Now, this made it seem like there may have been some type of strife between Norm and Chris, and maybe there was at the time. However, it seems like eventually they both let it go and moved on with their lives, because in 2011, they both were set on a project called Hollywood and Wine, and this video circulated of the two guys just jawing and flapping their gums, and everything seems cool between these two fellas.
You be the girl.
Jodie Foster?
Yeah, just say so.
Who recently came out, right?
Yeah, but don't put that.
I'm not plugging that.
Okay, so just say it. Like you're, I'm Hannibal the cannibal.
I'm Jodie Foster. I can't do Jodie.
No, just say any line.
Okay, Hannibal, you're terrible. What have you done to these innocent people?
Clarice, I don't know what you dream about, but I ate a guy. That wasn't good at all. I thought I've never done it. Here's the problem: I've never done an impression of him.
Do one. Here's Jessica Biel from Flashdance.
Okay. So okay, Jessica. Yeah. Man, aren't you getting ready for your dance?
Yeah, I gotta go. I got a big thing tonight. It's like
Jennifer.
That much. My Jessica Biel and his Anthony Hopkins.
It was pretty close. They were pretty close.
So everything seems lighthearted and fun in this clip, which makes me think that there was never any type of feud between the two to begin with. It really supports that the feud between Chris and Norm was all for show, and that they probably thought highly of each other the whole time. Then later on in 2015, we got to see Norm do an interview with Huffington Post, where he was asked about Chris Kattan, and he makes a few jokes about Chris that seem to be completely absent of malevolence.
Well, Chris is a great guy, but he used to bring around women all the time to the show, you know. Big, tall women, you know. Big bruisers, you know. And he'd say, look, I'm heterosexual. I mean, he wouldn't say that out loud, but that's what that would be the caption on the picture in the New Yorker. Boy, those are funny.
So it was something related to his sexuality?
Maybe. But listen, if I call a person gay, that ain't no insult.
It's a good thing nowadays.
Yeah, if you say it's an insult, you're the homophobe, not me.
Correct. Supreme Court says so.
That's absolutely.
All right, this is so fucking funny. I hate to be a D1 Glazer here, but Norm really was the funniest guy to ever live. I don't care what anybody says. Then 6 years later, Norm would die from cancer, and Chris Kattan would do an interview where he was asked about Norm and the relationship they had. He shared a lot of stories and insight as to why he had such a deep admiration for Norm as a comedian and as a cast member on Saturday Night Live. He even confirmed the idea that their feud was all for show, and Norm even said behind the scenes that there was no bad blood and that they teased each other for the entertainment of the audience and also fellow cast members, as we heard from Jim Breuer's story. He also detailed a story about making Norm laugh while he was doing Weekend Update, and also how Norm talked to Chris's mother for 10 minutes and they had a really wholesome conversation. With all of these words of high praise, it makes it abundantly clear that there was never any beef between these two fellas and that their iconic Saturday Night Live feud was all for show and entertainment. That being said though, it is really fun to look back at all the funny moments and stories between them and quote them to friends and in comment sections. If you guys want to leave some jokes about Chris Kattan and Norm in the comments down below, please do it, and also hype this video so more people can find it and get a good laugh for themselves. All in all, this was the truth about the iconic feud between Norm Macdonald and Chris Kattan on Saturday Night Live. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you're looking for more content right now, click the link on the screen to watch this video about Norm Macdonald where I tell you the entire history of his career in only 10 minutes. This video is great if you want to learn more about our favorite chunk of coal and your time is extremely limited. Other than that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. God bless.